So when I think about who has influenced me as an educator, I can think of so many teachers who have had an impact on who I am as an educator today, but I always seem to go back to my first class, my first group of students when I was first teaching, and I was asked to teach a bilingual self-contained pilot class. And basically that meant that there were ages 12 through 16 in that classroom, and most of the students had never been to school. Some were 16 years old, had never been to school, with a 12-year-old who had never been to school. I still remember all their names. And I also had students who maybe completed third grade. And what I learned those years, though those were probably the two most difficult years in my teaching career, was that we're not just teaching reading and writing and the curriculum, but we're teaching people. And I remember that 8th period at the end of the day, it sort of always would turn into like group therapy, and the kids would share, what was troubling them at home and their interests, and what their passions were, and Leonidas, who liked to play soccer, and Agustina, who loved to do nails. And I realized early on in my career that if I truly wanted to reach students, that I had to know them well as people, who they are, what their dreams are, what they love, and that would be the best way to find books that they would be interested in reading and teach them, things that they would be interested in, and allow them to write about the things they cared about and were worried about and loved. And so I'm very grateful to those years. Though they were my most difficult, I always look back and say those were the best 2 years for my teaching career.